Welcome back to another video. This is a match preview. We're going to do match previews more on this channel, and we're also going to do longer match reviews. And when I mean that, so we're going to have the match reactions. You always get match reactions from me. And then on every weekend game, you'll get a video a couple days later just breaking down the whole game as a whole and stuff like that. Longer videos you might see. So we're going to do match previews even more. And what a way to start it with West Ham United versus Chelsea. And listen, okay, we all know what happened last year. West Ham, Chelsea, both teams probably want a good referee because Stamford Bridge, we went 1-0 up. Chelsea scored 2 goals, and right at the end, Maxwell Corday goes round Edouard Mendy and scores, and Edouard Mendy was fouled by Jared Bowen, and we were absolutely robbed. We then go to London Stadium. We concede to João Felix, and then Emerson equalises against his former club. And right at the end, I think it was Conor Gallagher that took the shot, and Thomas Souček saves the ball like a goalkeeper. And Chelsea were robbed in that game. So let's hope there isn't any VAR controversies. This is a historic London derby that was mainly faced out during the 60s up until the 80s and so on and so forth. There was a point where in the 80s that West Ham were going for a title charge in 85 and Chelsea were relegated in a similar year. I'm not sure if it was 85. Over the past few years, we've had some good clashes. The Paolo Di Canio days, where we actually beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which is a rare occasion. Talking from a West Ham perspective, there's been some good wins against Chelsea, but they've mainly come at home. The 15-16 one against Mourinho. I think Mourinho got sent off from the touchline. I think they had a player sent off as well. I was at that game. I was at most of them. 16-17 in the Carabao Cup. Ed Milson, was it Ed Milson? I can't remember if it was Ed Milson, Fernandez or Kiate. It was one of them. I scored and we won 1-0. I was at the Marko Arnautovic game, where he scores right at the start, and we beat Antonio Conte. The Masuaku game, the Yarmolenko game. There's been a few. And obviously at Stamford Bridge, Aaron Cresswell scored to keep Pellegrini's job, which was probably one of the few times I didn't celebrate a win against Chelsea because I wanted Pellegrini gone at that stage. And I don't want West Ham to lose, but I just wanted Pellegrini to just leave. And listen, we're going to go through David Moyes' presser on the West Ham website on the As It Happened press conference. First, he was asked about if anyone is unavailable for Sunday. He said no. Edson Alvarez and Ward-Prowse will be available. James has Premier League experience and scored and assisted goals throughout his career. Edson will bring us something as well, and I hope will be great signings for us. Now, if you want my prediction, James Ward-Prowse will probably start ahead of Pablo Fornals and Paquetá. I know people want me to talk about him. I'm not going to talk about him in this video with the other stuff. Yeah, I know there's stuff going on, but I'm not going to talk about anything outside of football anymore. I can't be asked. But yeah, I think Paquetá will be moved forward. I do actually think he'll play, and I think he'll be a pivot, Ward-Prowse and Souček, which isn't a good pivot at all. But he's not going to play Edson Alvarez over his boyfriend. Now comes a question on Harry Maguire. He doesn't talk about players in other clubs, so luckily for him. Yeah, well, luckily for me, Harry Maguire will not join West Ham United. He said he can't shed light on Lucas Paquetá's situation with his interest from Man City, which, Man City pulled out, and we know why now. Jesse Lingard training with West Ham. He said he's not considered a deal for Jesse Lingard at this moment, and nor should he. Moving on to Sunday's opponents, the first question focuses on the summer editions. he said that Chelsea spent a lot of money last year as well, and it doesn't always guarantee success. They're entitled to do it as they do, and they have signed a lot of really talented players. He said Mauricio Pochettino has been there before, knows the league well, he's experienced now, and it's always good to come up against the best managers. He's in that bracket. And finally, on the prospect of him playing in front of the Hammers fans for the first time since the Conference League. We want everyone to come in the way they were in the East End of London and on the night of Prague. We're looking forward to being back here at home, and I'm sure it'll be a great atmosphere. Yeah, the atmosphere could go either two ways. I will be at the game. And it's not usually a good atmosphere at a London stadium because the stadium's shocking. And we're quite loud as fans. And the stadium doesn't help us project us to be that loud. But I remember going to the West Ham Chelsea game last year. It was after I'd thrown blowing bubbles. I was singing "Stick the blue flag up your ass," and then it went silent. The whole game was silent. They were silent. We were silent. So it was kind of shit. And yeah, sometimes we might have a better atmosphere for a West Ham Chelsea game because they're meant to be quite quite loud due to previous clashes. But you never know. I think ahead of this game, obviously Chelsea drew 1-1 to Liverpool, and it was a good game. After the disallowed goal from Mohamed Salah, Chelsea were very much on top. They played a back three instead of a back four. We thought Mudryk would play that game, and Disasi ended up playing that game, and they ended up playing a back three. Reece James is injured for a few weeks, according to Pochettino. So Malo Gusto, who we're familiar with after we played against him when he played for Lyon in the Europa League. He played with Paquetá and Emerson in that game, and he played really well. We were literally like, who is this right back? We looked him up. I looked him up on the Europa League app. He was 19, and he was probably their best player on the day. So when Chelsea signed him, I was like, for fuck's sake. They've actually got good depth for Reece James instead of Azpilicueta, who was washed at the time. And so I don't expect it to... it's an advantage for us that Reece James is out, but Malo Gusto coming in, yeah, it's not good for us. I would rather they play a back three, because I think in a back four they'd be more attacking. But I think they will play a back four. I think Mudryk might get a start, and you'll see Sterling play on the right, who usually plays well against us. Hopefully we don't give Nicholas Jackson his first goal either, who looked really lively in pre-season. Obviously they've signed Caicedo and Lavia, so they might play. So they're going to assess if they play them. I'm going to assume that Gallagher will play the game, and Lavia might drop out. He might play Caicedo instead. And Kunku is injured as well. And Lewis Hall has been sold to Newcastle, so it'd be Chilwell, Cucurella, I'm assuming Chilwell, and Robert Sanchez in goal, who I think is actually very, very shit. But listen, he can ping a ball, but he can't ping a ball under pressure, and he can barely save a ball. But against a team that's not going to have any of the ball, and that doesn't pressure the goalkeeper, he'll probably play well. But I remember we played against Brighton, and he didn't play that well when we actually pressured him on the ball when he was going to kick the ball. But if you're going to look at the way we're going to play, the past two games against Chelsea were just sat behind the ball, and Moyes tends to just sit everyone behind the ball against Chelsea. He doesn't want to attack the game, and Antonio needs to be on it this game, and we can't keep relying on Mikel Antonio. But he has to be on it this game. In my opinion, Maxwell Cornet should come in for Said Benrahma, but I don't think he will. I think James Ward-Prowse will come in for Fornals, as I've said, even though Fornals probably doesn't deserve to be dropped after the last game. Then again, neither does Souček, but I would still try Edson Alvarez and James Ward-Prowse. This is a must-win game, in my opinion, because not only is it a rivalry, a London derby, if you're going to draw to Bournemouth, you have to make up for that by winning against Chelsea. We've got Brighton next week. And we're going to have people looking at us, and I'm pretty sure we've got Luton after that. And we're going to have people looking at us being like, what the fuck are West Ham doing this season? I do not know myself. I do not know myself. And that's just my opinion. I don't know what the fuck we're doing this season. And I like the signings. I like the fact that we're actually being active now. But we should have been active in July. And all this stuff about manager versus director of football and all this stuff. I literally do not give a slight of a shit. Just get the deals done. I haven't even talked about Mohamed Kudus on this channel yet. So if there's anything concrete where we actually bid for once, we'll see. Right now, when you think there's going to be good news about West Ham United, there's always bad news. So it's best to not even look at anything online when it comes to West Ham. Just wait until someone holds a shirt up. But listen, that is my preview of the Chelsea game, and yeah, you're going to be seeing more content like this on the channel, and it will be easier when there's not a transfer window because there's so many videos that clash. But yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me and email for any inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.